what motivated you to sign an MOU with our company?
Yeah, okay, so thank you very much for having me here. I am representing Indonesia Sharia FinTech Association, or we call it AFSI. I'm very pleased to be invited to the event by the chairwoman of the Uzbekistan FinTech Association, Nargis. So it's been very honored to be here. What motivates us is, of course, the collaboration between the two ecosystems, where Nargis just mentioned that these events, FinTech and Banking Forum 2024, will become the first platform for us to be collaborating between each countries. You know, us Far East in Indonesia, there's so many things that we can learn as well from Uzbekistan. You guys have 1/3 population from us, but you guys have certainly developed so many great things in here. And us in Indonesia, we know that Uzbekistan is also a big Muslim population, and we wanted to learn a lot from how the implementations of the FinTech and how it collaborates with banking, and of course to provide the financial inclusion, literacy, and everything for the people of Uzbekistan. I think those two things can, when we can collaborate, I think we can learn from one another. So that's what motivates us to really want to collaborate in the futures, with signing this MOU.
Yeah, that's great. And what are your main goals and expectations for this partnership?
Well, the main goal is hoping that, of course, the two surrounding ecosystem can form a partnership, a real-world partnership together, where we can bring our base case study to Uzbekistan, and also we wanted to bring Uzbekistan case study back to Indonesia, so we can kind of create probably later on a perfect products, or perfect platform solutions, for each of our regions, basically. So that's what we're hoping. Of course, this will be starting with the dialogue first, discussions, debating, and everything, but hoping that we can, establish some sort of a joint platforms together that can, bring values to both of our nations, basically.
Yes, that's great. How do you see our cooperation in short and long term?
Okay, so for the short-term cooperation is about knowing each other. Okay, we wanted to know more about, obviously you have so many companies, payments, banking, and even other forms of FinTech. And also we wanted to make sure we do, matchmaking between each of our members, to get to know each other, between their industry. Like, for instance, I'm in payments. I represent a company. I'm a CEO of ZPay. We're a payment company, and I've heard some speeches by the central bank deputy today that there'll be a lot of good things coming into Uzbekistan, and I really wanted to explore from that part. So from my point of view as a payment company, we are focusing on the cross-border payments right now. So we're hoping, more Indonesian tourists coming to Uzbekistan. So, and also we're hoping, later on, Uzbekistan people can come to Indonesia as well, visiting our beautiful island of Bali and everything. So there'll be, from my industry, we'll start with a payment, a cross-border initiatives that can help, make it easier for tourists between two countries and retails between two countries, to make payments cross-border easily and streamline everything,
Okay.
Yeah.
What new opportunities does the partnership open for both parties?
Well, obviously, as we can see, both growth of these FinTech and banking platforms are huge. I can see that in here you have more than 20% growth. And we wanted to learn from that. Indonesia was still like, a little bit like 15% growth. But so that's why I think opportunities is really huge. We are a population of 200 million people. Hopefully, we can learn from you guys on how to scale up, as quick as possible, because the opportunity is huge, and not only for two countries. If we can form something, it can probably can have a greater impact for other countries that have a big Muslim populations in it. So that's one of my main goal of exploring, basically. Yeah.
Okay. In your opinion, what competitive advantages does this cooperation create?
Okay. So the competitive advantages is, again, my topic would be surrounding the payments. Second one is surrounding the microfinance, and third one is surrounding the Islamic And Uzbekistan is really at the heart of these three things I can see. Three things that I just saw in the keynote speech. I cannot find it in other countries, where you have a mix of between the three things. Even you have crypto as well in here. So I think that's one of the big advantage that Uzbekistan has already done so much good things, and that we cannot find this in other countries. So hopefully, by us collaborating, I think we can really create this competitive advantage. Bring it back to Indonesia and another surrounding Asia.
Yeah. Okay. What innovations are you planning to introduce as a result of cooperation?
What innovation? As I mentioned you before, I'm going to start with creating the payment platform first. Cross borders, number one. Number two, because we have I'm representing a big Muslim Islamic population. I wanted to have a payment that comply with the Sharia rules and everything. And for all I know, Indonesia, Uzbekistan is one of the place where our famous Imam Bukhari was born here. So I think I wanted to create this initial initiatives where we have a payment, cross-border one, but with an Islamic beauty in it, with the Islamic compliance. That's what I wanted to do.
That's great, actually.
Yeah.
So, what do you see as the most important for success in a long-term partnership?
For a long-term partnership is continuous communications, of course. We have to be open one another. We have to share each of our challenge. Because as you can see, as in both of our associations, we're not only involving the startup FinTech company. We can also needs to involve the governments. Political might change. Geopolitical also might change. So these are the two things. I think if we can have these two things communicated with one another, what happened with us in the region, Southeast Asia, what happened with you guys in here. I think if we kept continuing the communications, try to solve how we solve our barriers, our challenges, I think that would be the most beautiful thing that we can have as a collaboration. So sharing all problems, innovate, and keep continuing the communications. I think that's one of the ways.
Okay, that's actually great. And thank you very much for your partnership.
Thank you so much.